All right, let's turn now to the entertainment factor. Donald Trump. Trump slipping a little bit in the polls, but still a force in all of this. Here he is taking a shot at Ben Carson, who apparently is now leading him in Iowa. Says Carson's asleep at the switch or something like that. Here it is.
We have a breaking story. Donald Trump has fallen to second place behind Ben Carson. We informed Ben, but he was sleeping. Ben Carson is super low energy, right? It's super. He's super low. Super low energy.
Carson responded to that on the Sunday shows about his energy, his demeanor, and what his past is all about.
I have plenty of energy, but, I am soft-spoken. I do have a tendency to be relaxed. I wasn't always like that. There was a time when I was, very volatile, but, I changed.
When was that?
As a teenager, I would go after people with rocks and bricks and baseball bats and hammers. And of course, many people know the story when I was 14 and I tried to stab someone. And, fortunately, my life has been changed and I'm a very different person now.
Well, I'd hope so. But I don't know what kind of scrutiny he's going to get from the right wing, the same way President Obama got scrutiny for his association with Reverend Wright. So I'm waiting to see what the conservative media does with his past, admitted past, about how he used to be. But he's a changed man. He says Christ has turned his life around. This may be one of the reasons why he's doing so well with the evangelicals in Iowa. I don't know. Iowa's a mixed bag. John Nichols, your take, number one, on how Trump is handling the poll drop, which is slight, and number two, the way Carson's now presenting himself. Your thoughts?
Well, number one, Trump has had a project over the last couple weeks. It has been immensely successful, and that is to destroy Jeb Bush. And the fact of the matter is, if you take a look at what's happened to Bush, Trump's achieved his goal by focusing there. He's had a minor poll drop in Iowa. Remember, Iowa almost always picks the most evangelical candidate. It picked Huckabee in 08. It picked Santorum in 12.
Yeah.
And so Iowa was always going to be a little challenging for Trump. But here's my bottom line. Anybody who thinks that a little shift in the Iowa poll, and by the way, there's a poll that came out today that showed Trump and Carson tied. A CBS poll came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And anybody who thinks that a little shift in the Iowa poll is a big problem for Trump is being silly.
Okay.
The fact is, he knows what he's doing.
Let's go back to this point you made that Trump's mission has been to deep six Jeb Bush. And this is a soundbite that accentuates that.
The whispery campaign's already started. The Bush is falling apart. He may not even
blah 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 blah.
You know what they're saying out there?
That's my answer. Blah blah blah. Watch it. President Kane was winning the Republican primary in 2007. Senator Clinton was up by 25 points against an unknown guy named Barack Obama 8 years ago. I think President Giuliani was leading the field for a brief time, more or less this same time. And so you look at the race. October is not when you elect people; it's February.
Well, you might make the case that Jeb Bush's campaign's on life support. I don't think he's quite located the defibrillator yet. But the fact is that he is cutting down on expenses. He's also reducing pay. This is Trump's response to all of it.
Here's a guy who wants to run our country, and he can't even run his own campaign. So Bush has no money. He's cutting. He's meeting today with mommy and daddy, and they're working on their campaign. Okay, they're working.
So what does this mean? Trump really hasn't even dug into his billions to try to get the nomination yet. He's got this huge reserve. So are we not giving Trump the due credit of being a political strategist that he might be? That he's gone after Rubio. He's gone after, he's bloodying up Jeb Bush right now. It seems pretty methodical, John Nichols.
You're exactly right. And I hope I am giving Trump the credit he deserves as a political strategist. I happen to disagree with him profoundly on the issues. But I have watched Trump since he got into this campaign, and the fact of the matter is, every time he points his energy, which is largely, conveyed by national media, not by paid advertising.
Yeah.
Every time he directs his energy at someone, that person is done terrible damage. Who was his first big target? Scott Walker. Where's Scott Walker in this race? Who did he go after? He has gone after several other people along the way, including Rubio. Rubio just is not getting traction. Now he's gone after Bush. Bush is looking to be in dire straits. And if you'll notice, just in the last 24 hours, he started to talk about the fact that Ben Carson is a Seventh-day Adventist, which is obviously different than a traditional evangelical. I think you are going to see Trump go after Carson at a certain point. Mm-hmm. And when he does, that'll be the great test, because Carson does have a loyal following. There is no doubt of that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we should underestimate Trump's skill at knocking other candidates out of the way. And I would also add to you, add one final note. They just had a poll that came out this morning, an AP poll, that said, do you think which of these candidates can win the presidency? Among Republicans now, they say the highest number say Trump is their most likely winner.
Yeah, the inevitable is starting to set in. I just don't see Ben Carson doing a national play. I think he'll do well in Iowa, maybe okay in New Hampshire, but for the national play, I think he is maybe in the same boat as Bernie Sanders. It's a wait-and-see thing, okay? If he does well in those two openings, the first caucus state, first primary state, it's going to be a wait-and-see from that point on. I just think the guy's too goofy. I just think that he's just too far out there for the conservatives to embrace. And I think that Trump seriously has got a political strategy to eventually take down all of these traditional Republicans and separate himself as a guy that, number one, is not Washington, number two, can create jobs, has experience that the Oval Office needs, and he'll give a hell of a fight to either Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. That's where we are right now. John Nichols, always great to visit. Appreciate your time, my friend. Thanks.
Pleasure, Ed. Take care.
John Nichols, Washington correspondent of The Nation magazine and great friend of this broadcaster. Ed Schultz News and Commentary brought to you by Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, Bio Green Clean, and the iSave team. We're back tomorrow.